How's it going, everyone? Jesus here, aka Tyrant Dominus, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about Anchor. Anchor is the one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. Honestly, Anchor is a very enjoyable platform to be on, listen on, and just a joy to be a part of this community. Anchor, come check us out. And welcome back to Reaction Cast. Once again, bringing you another episode. This time around, continuing our Marvel discussion with the beginning of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The episode just released a few days ago, and there's been already a lot of talks. Today with me, again, if you have not listened to our episode talking about our extended WandaVision talks, go ahead and listen to that. But joining me again is the guys from GingerFlix, Josh and Joey. Guys, welcome back.
Thanks for having us, man.
So, for anyone listening, we probably sound a little bit hoarse and tired because we're recording this right after our WandaVision discussion. But it's because there's so much to talk about.
Yes, sir.
Now, WandaVision has ended. We had roughly a week break from the ending of WandaVision going into Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier. And for an episode 1, we're getting traditional 40-50 minute episodes, which I really like. And I think a lot of people from WandaVision moving away from that style, going to a more traditional medium. But only getting 6 episodes is interesting. So what were you guys' thoughts towards not going in, because we kind of already, if you guys are listening to our WandaVision talk, we already gave our thoughts kind of going into Falcon into Winter Soldier. But what were your thoughts when the episode ended? What were because it was interesting, because it's a completely different style of show from what we got from WandaVision.
Okay, so just quick thought at the end of the episode. For me, it was, it's I think it's a 42-minute episode-ish, something like that. At the end of it, I was like, it's already done. I wanted more right away, but different than WandaVision, there's no, the mystery is different. It's just, here was a 42-minute, we had that wicked action scene at the beginning, and then we had a lot of character stuff throughout the rest of the episode, and by the end of it, I was like, I am on board. I can't. I can't wait for next episode. I can't wait for me.
Okay, Joey.
Yeah, I think it's it was pretty wild how just it was so quick, right? It's just, but it was the same feeling you got with the first few episodes of WandaVision, and I feel like they might do the exact same thing, where Josh, stop disagreeing with me, because I will come to you and hurt you.
So for anyone listening, Josh is nodding on our video call.
Disagreeing with me.
You are a liar and a coward, Joe.
I will hunt you down. I know where you live. I've seen where you sleep.
Yes,
but
I know.
My whole point is, I think it's going to be where the first few episodes are going to be short, half-hour episodes, and then the last 2 are going to hit that full hour swing, maybe.
No, I mean, I think they're all going to be over 40 minutes.
Yeah,
as far as I know, they're all basically, an hour of network television, style length.
Fair
enough.
It's
they're all 42, 45 minutes, and then give us an hour and a half finale. Maybe. Snap, that'd be amazing.
Maybe.
That'd be amazing.
I mean, I thought it was great.
I like chow down on that.
You're
All right,
disgusting.
All right, so getting into the show, this episode in particular, now we're getting into the meat of the show for anyone listening. We'll be talking spoilers, so you've been warned. So we're getting now the a little bit of the of what happened to Falcon and Winter Soldier after they've been blipped back. So both of them were gone for 5 years. So now they're living in a world after the blip, and kind of now. They're both now civilians for the most. Actually, the Falcon's kind of still working for the military.
Yeah, Falcon is military, and
family business.
Straight up civilian.
And now a civilian. And I think we talked a little bit about it in WandaVision. Is for the most part, we've never had a real big backstory for Falcon, and just a little bit more anything. All we've really known about him is he's been Cap's friend, and he was a part of the military, and that kind of really it.
We knew he had seen combat, and as you saw in like Winter Soldier, he had like a support group that he ran for. I'm assuming guys with,
PTSD and stuff like that.
PTSD, or just struggling to come back out of the military, like try and have a normal life kind of thing. And I think that's about it. That's all we've gone from him. Because other than that, it's just he's been on Cap's, like on the ride with Cap.
And I think now this is a good first episode, just kind of showcasing a little bit more of him, about it, just overall his life and what he's going to be dealing with at the moment, and kind of his struggles, because we get this really interesting moment towards the end of Endgame where he is given the shield, kind of just passing this along, but they even reused a line where it just doesn't feel like his, or I'm butchering that, but and then him kind of just
you hear it in like audio flashback, like voiceover,
and then him just kind of like giving it up. It kind of like hurt a little just watching that, because it didn't feel right? Because I didn't
like that he just gave it back. That I found very strange. I'll admit that. Like, I kind of knew it was coming, sort of, as you've seen in the trailers with, other characters coming into play. But I was very surprised that he gave it back. Especially, like, it's not like he found it. Like, Cap gave it to him. Yeah. That I thought that was strange. I admit that. I gotta agree with you.
Yeah, but then
I think it was more a matter of just him as a character thinking, "Hey, I don't deserve this." It's a lack of confidence on his part to think that he deserves to be the one holding the shield. Now, who knows?
You know what would be cool?
What's going to happen now with the reveal at the end, anyways?
Yeah. So, but then
what would have been cool though is because honestly, we got that I say fantastic opening action sequence.
Oh yeah,
it was long, and we got to see GSP back, Batroc, and hey, the way they utilized Falcon's flying was awesome. I thought it was so good. But it would have been cool if he had Cap's shield with him, and maybe it was causing him to lose focus a bit because he was worried about it or something, and that's why he's like, no, I can't, it doesn't belong. Like, we saw him try to use it, and he's like, no, it doesn't belong to me, and that's why he's giving it up. But we haven't seen him with the shield yet, so it's just kind of like, I guess that's why I felt it was odd for him to just give it up in the first place.
That's understandable. And then we get into the next sequence where we get this, like, I was like wondering, and then we get the Winter Soldier section where it just surprised me, he just going into like murdering people. It's like, because we're getting the sequence with Falcon, like his life afterwards, like, okay, then what is Bucky doing? And it just does this weird, like, him kind of assassinating people, but then it turns out to be a flashback sequence where you kind of see Bucky having this basically just a nightmare of his past, and him kind of dealing with it. And we, like, for the most part, we've seen Bucky's backstory and his evolution, so getting a little bit more of understanding of him, not only basically suffering for like 100 years, 80, whatever, a long time, And then kind of having that moment, he like during the whole therapist thing, he had that like very short moment of kind of bliss, I would say, just like a little bit, and then just going back to fighting, and that's kind of all his life has been. It's just war and fights and murder. And
like he said he had his calm in Wakanda, and you know, it got me thinking. I'm like, yeah, why aren't you back in, like, why didn't you just go back to Wakanda? You know, I was thinking about that, but obviously he's on a journey right now, as they reveal at the end.
Yeah.
You know,
oh, that's true.
There's a reason why he's not back there.
And I think that's a good way to explain it. Like, he's been pardoned. Like, I liked how they're explaining everything. One, he saved the world, and he was one member of the people who saved the world. So now he's been given a second chance to just live a normal life for as much as a normal life he can get. And I like that they're doing that he's going basically I forget the TV show, My Name is Earl status, which is going down the list of people he's wronged. And then that's where kind of we get the whole like his like whole elderly friend. And that one, that kind of like is heartbreaking because he is going down this list of people he's wronged and trying to fix it as best as he can, under the way his therapist has laid it out with his 3 rules. But it is heartbreaking when I think it's best mentioned when he was on that date is like there's a name when for like children who lose their parents, for I'm butchering now.
A widower. Like there's a widower, you're an or if you lose your spouse, you're a widower. If you lose your parents, you're an orphan. But what is it called when you lose a kid?
That is kind of sad, actually. I've never really thought of that.
No, and me either. Like, it was
once again good writing. Like that, good writing. Yeah, and it put into perspective. Like, yeah, it sucks. It hurt me. Like just thinking like, oh, and that's just even though it's acting as because they're acting a character, and it just hurts. Like, wow, that sucks for him. It's like has to like, oh, and it just overall good. So I'll let you guys talk.
Yeah, no, I gotta say, I mean, because I really enjoyed it. The Winter Soldier has become, I mean, I didn't really know anything about him until the movie, right? I had vaguely heard the character name, and then, I looked it up, but I've never read a comic with the Winter Soldier. I've just enjoyed Bucky and Sebastian Stan playing this character in the Marvel movies, and I am hungry for more of him, because I think there is something just so cool about his character. I love the fact that he's got that wicked metal arm. He's this Hydra agent / turned hero now. He's sort of a super soldier, and it's cool to see his humanity now, his human side, him recovering from, we saw in Civil War when, we know that he remembers all of his kills. Like, we know that. And that's the thing that's horrible, because he had no control over it. And so now him trying to make amends and also suffering the nightmares of doing all these things that's going to be a very cool exploration of Bucky. And I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah, I really think that the whole thing and the chance we get to see his backstory a little bit more and see how much he actually struggles with his past than anything else is really going to be one of the more interesting aspects of the series. Because yeah, you can, check out all the other action sequences and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, if you're interested in these characters, what will make you interested in these characters is that they need to be more fleshed out. These 2 specific characters are some of the least fleshed out characters in the MCU, and now this is, as an audience member's first opportunity to see what's actually going on with them. Yeah, I totally agree, because during the other miniseries WandaVision, we had these flashy, weird, magic stuff, but now we're going more down to earth human characters. You get Falcon and his high tech stuff, but for the most part, these are just human people that for the most part we can relate, and they're struggling like normal people, trying to get a loan.
I was really surprised at that. Like him. that whole debate on what do you do for money? Do you get paid?
Yeah,
to be a
that's kind of
superhero?
like.
Now, I assumed, though, because they had the Avengers compound and people were living there, I assumed they were being funded by Tony Stark, and that would have been continuing through Pepper. But I guess they're not? You know, like...
That's good. Yeah, I didn't think about that, because I thought for the most part they were just like, oh, if you need something, we'll buy it. We'll just like, oh, come delivered. Like, you need food?
Yeah, like,
Uber it here. And then, but they were like never given a real paycheck. So
no.
Yeah, it's one of those things like we're getting to the real world aspect, and I don't mind that because it is a world like we're getting into the world 5 years after everyone disappeared and everyone was struggling. We got that in Endgame. The world was a mess. The universe was a mess, and we're starting to see that now that everyone's back. Like, oh, everything's back to normal. No. Not everything's back now. People are struggling. You can see that with the family dynamic with Falcon and his sister, and I like that. Like he was gone. She was struggling, single mother. Like, and yeah, we're getting to see that. And I think having Falcon's story to showcase kind of like the just the dynamic of being gone for 5 years. Like, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. All right.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think one thing I was not, or that I wanted that we didn't get in the first episode is there was no interaction between Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I really hope they meet up soon, because if it takes a while, that's one thing that kind of slowed it down. Like, I know you got to explore these characters a bit, and you can still do that, but I hope they meet up soon. I hope we're not waiting a couple episodes for them to interact, because that's what we want. We want to see them team up, right? That's just me, though.
I mean, I don't know if they're gonna rush it either, but yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to see it sooner than later. But also, I also think it'd be just as interesting to do even more of a deep dive on these two guys.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, it's not. I'm saying it's like it's a nitpicky thing for me, but I honestly, the first episode, it was done, and I was like, that it's done already. Like, it went by fast. So
no, yeah, it was a lot to take in within 40 minutes. But I think we'll be getting it, because now that we're getting kind of the villain and stuff, the villains and everything. Or the organization. I still can't remember the name of the organization that's been
Flag Smasher or something.
Flag Smasher. It's a weird sounding name, but I'll probably get used to it.
Sounds dirty.
But we're getting this now interaction where Falcon is talking to this new character. I can't remember his name off the, but another like agent. Military person who's kind of tracking them down and things like that. We're going to see where that goes, but I think we'll be getting it towards either the mid or towards the end of next episode, because of the whole revelation of the new Captain America, which it feels for anyone watching, it feels like it was just the next day, but it's probably been a couple days since Falcon left it at the Smithsonian and then went back home to his family. But it just feels like it was like the next day or the day after, but it's probably been a week or a few weeks.
But it's just a guy in a suit with a shield.
My question, for you guys, surprised, or how did you feel the moment you saw him? What were just your like initial thoughts?
I mean, you knew that shot was coming. You knew U.S. agent or whatever it is was coming into the show. So I was surprised that that's how they ended the first episode.
Yeah, it was really early. I thought that they would have given us a little bit more, but they kind of just went right ahead with that. So now, that's interesting.
Here's the thing for you. It was cool to see Don Cheadle at the beginning. Great.
Yes.
Love that.
I forgot to mention that.
However, because he asked Sam, he's like, why did you do it? Right? And, Sam says it belongs to Steve, etc., etc. Did Rhodey know they have a new Cap? And did he not tell Sam?
Probably.
Because if he knew, that's going to spark some more drama.
Because it's one of those things that it's one of those things like it had to be talks in because it had to be like agreed upon by like the heads of the military, arm and defense. Everyone had to agree like we need a new symbol because they said it. They like we need a new symbol and everything. Mm-hmm. So someone had to check mark it like yes. It's there has to be a lot of talks in there because I think at this point War Machine he's deep into the military now. He probably is like a high seat, so he was probably in part one of the people they probably talked about it with him. So we'll see.
Rhodey might be getting to the point of general status at this point now, right?
He should be at this point. Everything he's had to deal with, he should be. So
he's got robot legs, man.
Yeah. He's got magic legs.
So even though
you got magic legs, Lieutenant,
magic legs, Captain Rhodey.
There's not really much more to talk about because it's a very human story we're going to be looking into, and there's only 6 episodes, but I feel that these 6 episodes are going to showcase a lot. Is there anything that I know this is getting to fan theory, but is there anything you're hoping to see like getting into the show?
Honestly, I've got nothing that I'm hoping to see. I'm just willing and ready to go along for the ride. Yeah. I'm excited for whatever they give us, right? I mean,
me too. Like
I don't aside from the
I just want to see them kicking ass. I'm gonna be honest. I want to see some. That's it. Give me some. Give me some Civil War, Winter Soldiers level action scenes, and give me these guys just being explored on and being awesome. And I'm good to go.
Yeah, same. I can't say much more than that. I just want more.
All right, then.
I liked what I've seen so far. So,
all right, guys. Is there anything else you would like to kind of close off episode 1 of Falcon and Winter Soldier to close this episode?
Not for me, man. I let's go. Let's do it. I can't wait.
Yeah, let's get going. Let's kick some ass. Take some names.
All right, guys. So everyone, thanks for listening to our thoughts of episode 1 of Falcon and Winter Soldier. We will probably be doing a mid-season finale unless you guys want us to do an episode per episode. Let us know. If so, well, we might do an episode per episode because it sounds like this is going to be a very interesting series. If not, we will do a mid-season discussion and then a final discussion because that's kind of how the algorithm works for podcasts and YouTube. So everyone, thanks again for listening. Josh, Joey, thank you for joining me once again.
Yeah, happy to do it.
Thanks, man.
So everyone, thanks again for listening. Until next time.
See ya.